has learned that the nation's top intelligence officials provided information to President-elect Donald Trump and to President Barack Obama last week about claims of Russian efforts to compromise President-elect Trump. The information was provided as part of last week's classified intelligence briefing regarding Russian efforts to undermine the U.S. elections. Jim, walk us through what we've learned.
I want to be very precise here. Multiple U.S. officials with direct knowledge of the briefings tell CNN that classified documents on Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election presented last week to President Obama and to President-elect Trump included allegations that Russian operatives claimed to have compromising personal and financial information about Mr. Trump. The allegations were part of a two-page synopsis. These were based on memos compiled by a former British intelligence operative whose past work U.S. intelligence officials consider credible.
A lot of this information in the former MI6 officials' memos has been floating around in Washington for a while. But something has changed here that now has made this more credible. First of all, the FBI has vetted the individual and his sources, and second of all, the intelligence community felt it was significant enough to include in this presentation. Does anyone else know this information?
They do. In fact, on the same day that the president-elect was briefed by the intelligence community, the top 4 congressional leaders, as well as the chairman and ranking members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, these are the so-called Gang of 8, they were also provided a summary of these memos regarding Mr. Trump, this according to law enforcement, intelligence, and administration sources. That said, the synopsis was considered so sensitive it was not included in the classified report about Russian hacking that was more broadly distributed in Washington, but rather in an annex that was only shared at the most senior levels of government, that is, the current president, President Obama, the president-elect, Mr. Trump, and those 8 congressional leaders. Jake.